Hello and welcome to Matsland 13's Alphabet of Wrestlers series, Tag Team Edition. And obviously, follow on from next week, we are doing B. So there's quite a few tag teams we could go on for, like the British Bulldogs. I'm sure there's others, but I'm going with one quite close to my heart, I suppose, because I actually met one of the members. So we're going to do the Bushwackers, Luke and Butch. Like I said, we was actually fortunate enough to meet Luke, I think back in 2017, in a Comic Con, and I think a picture might come up again soon. You'll see a picture in a minute with him on there. So yeah, normally I'll usually read a few bits and pieces to you, but I'm just going to sort of chuck more facts here this time, as opposed to going through lots and lots of speech bubbles. It's easier to do bullet points and things like that. So yeah, the Bushwackers then, professional tag team who competed under various names. Obviously the Bushwackers, the Kiwis, the Kiwi Sheep Herders, Los Pastors or something in Puerto Rico, and Los Sacramentas in Spain. They also appeared as the New Zealand, the Sheep Herders, and the Sheep Herders. So obviously Luke Williams and Butch Miller. Their ring names were years active from about 1966 to 2002, so that's quite a long career that they had there. Now, obviously, anybody who knows the Bushwackers, I'm sure every wrestling fan has done their Bushwacker dance as they walk around. I think it's one of the most famous, probably, moves in wrestling. If you haven't done it, then I suggest you do it. Now, when it comes to Championship Gold, they never actually won anything in the WWE. The only thing they won in WWE was the Hall of Fame class of 2015. But prior to that, they were really big in Canada, and they was 10-time tag team champion right across Canada and around the wrestling world. Like I said, but never won gold in WWE. They was always around. They definitely challenged. I think they challenged Money Incorporated. The Killer Bees. I think they challenged for the bouts. As I say, but they never actually got the bouts in WWE. So it's a bit of a shame, really. But they was brought in. They didn't actually want to be the gimmick that we all know them by. When they were the actual sheep herders, they were actually a really violent tag team. They say the whole image that they got given was given to them by Vince McMahon. Like I said, they didn't want it. So most of the 80s, they was known as the Sheep Herders, and they made the names as a violent, hated, and nostalgic tag team. The pair had moved around different territories, proudly displaying the home flag of New Zealand. And they were very heels. They was their thing. They bet up with Vince McMahon though, and Pat Patterson, and they was coming to WF at the time as babyfaces. And they actually questioned what the actual motives were. And then Vince McMahon explained to him how they did it with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and basically he was a similar sort of character, very serious to begin with, but given the actual right creative thing, turned him into a real likeable tag team. Maybe that's what stopped them from winning golds, because they were just lucky and just well liked. So yeah, they obviously got a few records that aren't very good. Luke himself entering the Royal Rumble nearly lasted 3 seconds, I think 3.9 seconds, which is a record held for many years. I always remember that he marched into the ring doing the old walk, went one side and straight out the other. It's one of the best things you'll ever see in a wrestling ring. But yeah, there you go then. A little bit about the Bushwackers. Like I said, they was mainly, probably 1966 they started. NWA New Zealand. It was later known as All Star Pro Wrestling, and they had success there. They wrestled along with the Mortimers, Ontario, Vermont, which was owned by the Vachon family. Sort of around those sort of wrestling sort of genres. And then moving on to the 70s when they become the New Zealand Sheep Herders, and they actually made a stop off in All Japan Pro Wrestling. And like I said, they're just obviously all known around the world. I never actually knew all this until recently, when I sort of researched them and was very surprised. They have feuds with the Fabulous Ones. I'm reading some more tag teams they have feuds with here now. the Fanatics. The Sheepherds defeated the team of Coco Beware and Rick Cassie. There you are. So they named the company called the Originals as well, 1986 to 1988. They defeated Ted DiBiase and Steve Williams for the UWF Tag Team Championships on March 16th, 1986. So yeah, they definitely worked their way around. Like I said, they were a gimmicky tag team. I mean, like I said, if you ever watch their footage when they come down the ring, they're licking your heads off and they're giving you the armpits. I think the finishing move was called the battering ram. So yeah, they were definitely a tag team to be remembered of all time. And that's my little bit then on the Bushwackers. So thanks for listening, and stay safe. Bye.